Good afternoon, guys. Uh, I hope everyone has configured the Kubernetes IP setup, and if your pfSense is working, you will be able to communicate with the internet. Uh, but if your pfSense configurations are not over, but still, if you want to configure the LibreNMS, uh, you can. If you have a wired connection, you have a way of doing that one. But if you are using wireless, then it's also not possible, because if you are using wired connection, what you can do is you can bridge your monitoring server to the uh, wired connection, and you can do the installation if your pfSense configuration are not over. Uh, but the problem is, if you don't have a wired connection, things become a bit difficult uh, with the LibreNMS installation. Uh, okay, so I will share my screen and I'll show you. Okay. So if you correctly install the LibreNMS, we first ask you to double check whether you have the correct network settings for the monitoring server. When you put the network, these settings need to be there. If you are going to go through the lab setup file, it means if you're going to go through the pfSense which you configured yesterday, these settings need to be correctly configured. And you have to use the Windows XP machine. Through the Windows XP GUI, you can connect to the LibreNMS. So I'm just showing you the final output, what you will get if you have correctly configured everything. Um, you will experience that these even pfSense and all the Cisco routers that we have configured will be connecting into the uh, this LibreNMS console. So this is what we are going to achieve. So one will guide you through the configuration steps. So I just wanted to show you what you see after you configure this correctly, the final output that you will get. So I will hand over the session to the Tuan, and if you have any issues of configuration of the setup, you can forward those queries to us. Uh, so this is what you finally see if you configure the LibreNMS correctly. So I will hand you the sessions to Tuan. So he will help you with the rest of the configuration.
Hi everyone. Mm, I hope that you guys are okay with the setup guide. Is there any questions related to installation of LibreNMS? Please share with us. Is there anyone who willing to share their screen? And the screen share is enabled. So guys, here I am sharing my terminal. That the thing is that sometimes when setting up the time zone, there are some issues related to this one. Because the thing is that sometimes we cannot find the time date zone. So I hope everyone can see. And in here, I use the nano to open to edit this time zone. So you can just search it from here by entering date. And in here, you can see that I have comment. I remove the comment and I have entered date time zone to Asia Colombo. This one is for the first FPM one. And same as the other one also. Just use where is by control and W and type what you want to find. In the configuration MariaDB that I have mentioned that within the MySQLD you have to enter uh, 2 lines. Here I think everyone can see my screen. Configuration in here, you have to add these 2 lines within MySQLD. So I'm going to show how you are going to add those things. The thing is that in where you have to put these 2 lines. In here, once you edit using VIO Nano for the 50-server.cnp file, in here you can see MySQL. In there, I have put those two lines in here. InnoDB file, PR table 1 and lowercase table names equal 0. Later you have to enable the MariaDB, and after that you have to restart. And in the configuration PHP FPM, we have to change www to LibreNMS. In here it will show like www, and I renamed it as LibreNMS. And if you go down, in here you can see user and group. In here also you have to rename that one to LibreNMS. Please check the spellings also, otherwise sometimes when validating there will be some errors. And after that you have to go down, you have to scroll it down, or else by using the arrow keys you have to go down, and after that you have to add these two lines. No, only one line you should add, and you have to comment one. Also I have mentioned that one in the guide also. In here I was talking about this part. Change www to LibreNMS, and after that you have to change user and group to LibreNMS as well. In here user when configuring, automatically it will show like user equal www dash user, and for the group also will be the same, and so you have to delete it and you have to type it like this. And after that you have to add these things, and you have to comment this one. So is there anyone who's like to share the screen with us? Or is the thing is that we don't know how much you have gone through the setup? Or is there any questions from the chat section? I have answered some questions. Is there anyone, or else you can just unmute your mic and you can ask anything? Yeah, and another thing, one important thing is that once you have set the time by editing these two PHP files, php.ini files, to Asia Colombo, then you must set the time zone. Otherwise, there will be some errors in validating from the web interface. So this etc/UTC should be Asia Colombo. In the within brackets, I have given that one. I think earlier that there was some people. Yeah, Vijay Khan, and then I think I was answering his question, and he was away. I think now he is with the workshop. Can you share your screen? Or is there anyone who have any questions? Yeah, I think only few people up to this level by finishing the PXNs and started on monitoring server. So less questions means that no one is doing much, I guess. So if you have any other questions, please in the chat section also you can send us. So what about others? How about the progress? And what one person is doing the work, and the others about any. So you can give us the feedback in the chat section from others. How about percentage wise? How much you have completed? 40%, 30%, at least 1%.
So now it's working, no? This is already installed, Duan. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, that APT install software publish command that is already installed. Do I need to install?
Sorry, which one? If the it says that if you already yeah, there's nothing to upgrade it, right? Yeah, then it's okay, it's fine. You have to continue with the next one. Sometimes the thing is that the packages are already there, then so it's not there's no any new updates.
Okay.
Kanishka, can you share your screen with us? The thing is that in the chat section, he's telling that he cannot change the dashboard. From the Kanishka side, that he said that he installed LibreNMS and after that. So did you validate?
I couldn't. You have chat, no?
Yeah, I did that, but there is some errors popped up.
What
Is
kind?
relevant to this issue?
There's no there's just the cross mark is there, that the message is not appearing, right?
I think you can see. Now you can see the validation.
Yeah. Time zone error is there.
What can be the issue? The Python error or that?
No, the thing is that SQL statement from the set time zone error is the issue, I guess. The thing is that
Okay, I will check it again.
even from the Python also, can you try it?
Okay, okay. I will check those things and do the revalidation.
Yeah, that's right. So the thing is that from the web interface, that from the admin, there's another that the configuration icon was there, right? From there, you can click it and validate it.
Okay, I will check it out.
Yeah, right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and the Kanishka is having some issues, and we'll see. And what about the others? That only 2%, I guess. And I from Charmikar also. Yeah, I think it's sudo su. Sudo is just no any spaces between sudo.
Yeah, I can copy and paste. No, I cannot paste here. No.
Sorry, you cannot you can't paste.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else you can use putty.
Uh,
You can SSH it and with the IP.
close this, then,
Or else from the inside the XP machine, yeah, you can do that. Give it a try and see.
IP for that. IP. What is the IP of that Libra NMS server?
Sorry.
IP for that Libra NMS
Uh,
server.
yeah. Did you check with the diagram?
Here, no?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's available in there, I guess. Monitoring, so
This one, no?
yeah. If you go through, I think it's kind of a bottom patterns. Oh yeah, there. Yeah, I think.
Monitor, so this one, no?
And yeah,
10.1.5.10.
yeah, just bit scroll it down and in the edit and here and there. Yeah, that's the
What is this?
the IP address is available. Yeah, from the table also you can. Yeah, that's right.
SSH, no? Telnet to SSH. Hello, Tuan.
So you are from the outside, right? I mean, if you use the XP one, then it's okay. Inside the XP.
Okay. I got one, no? I got 10. Here you have installed the putty here, the XP, inside the XP.
Yeah, you by using, yeah, if you can use that from there, then it's easy, right? Other thing is that if you are accessing from the outside network, then there will be some issues.
This is not working there.
I think for the SSH, I think in there the command is it's different. We will see. Yeah, you have to install Putty.
Here, no?
Yeah.
Where? Forty-four HP, no?
I think the thing is that it's getting late because of your sharing and
Yes.
browsing.
Internet is working now.
Yeah,
I disconnect our open Wi-Fi connection and on my hotspot, then connect. Now working internet. If you use proxies, this work, this version.
you have to check with the compatibility. Otherwise, if it is a 32 or 64,
No bid, no. Here.
yeah,
Windows
yeah, it's service pack 3. I guess it's maybe
32.
32. I guess no. Anyway, if you put 32, then even if it is a 64, it will work.
This is 32.
Yeah, better to use 32 one.
Hmm. Loading. Can I connect through Telnet?
And the thing is that you're from the outside of your IP range, right? It's 10 dot, so I don't think that you will work. It will work. So you have to go inside. You have to use it from the inside of
But
your
earlier
network.
I
You accessed.
no, that I have already connected the routers with the telnet.
And now anyway you have installed that one inside XP, so there won't be any issues.
Okay.
And yeah, what about others? What about Chamikar Pereira? You have any issues? I think I have sent a message to him. I don't know whether he is okay with the setup. If you have anything, so if you guys, anyone, if you have any other questions related to the process of brain MS, please drop a message.
Network connection timer. Okay. Here, Ibra NMS server is running, right? Monitoring server is running. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Now I try to connect it through Pookie, right?
Mhm.
10.1.5.10, right? 22 SSH connection. Oh, telnet. Telnet.
No, just SSH.
SSH. Okay. Okay. No. Network error.
Oh, did you try
Wait.
ping from?
Ping
when-
from.
Yeah.
Try to ping right. 10.1.5.10. Connection is
Seems like there's some. It's not pinging, right?
internet is working. Pearson's LAN connection 10.1.0.2. From the diagram. This is the LAN connection, no?
Yeah, that's the line.
This is the LAN connection. This is the LAN IP of Pearson's, right? 10.1.0.2.
So you are trying to ping from XP to PXNs.
Yes. This is the IP, no? IP for
Yeah.
LAN. This 10.1.0.2.
Yeah, that's the PXNs one.
Yes. It's working, no? It's working.
What about
Wait,
10.1.
This one. I think this LAN connection. This is one. the DMZ connection. This is the WAN connection. This is the LAN connection. LAN connection IP. WAN connection. Sorry, WAN
Uh,
connection. This
Yeah.
is the DMZ
What
connection.
about LibRain name? Did you configure the IP?
No,
Ah,
I think that's about all. No?
yeah. Just type IP space and A from the LibRain. First, we'll check from from the YAML file. I think
Here, no?
when and you have to go bottom of the page. Yeah. In there, the switch monitor sudo, the above one, sudo vi etc. First we have to the config file. No, you have to go down below the that one.
This one. I think no need to go. Yeah.
You're already in. If you are already in root, then no need.
And plan. Okay. Then it's PNF3.
Be careful with the indents and all. So otherwise, sometimes it won't work.
Then enter, no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tap to spaces. It's good.
Spaces. From the Jamikara, there's question. I think first you have to still you are in the user at LibRain name is use sudo space so. Then after that you have to enter the password. First you have to log in as root. Otherwise there will be some issues installing the properties. In LibRain name is installation guide. I have mentioned that in the under requirements, sudo access to the server. The thing is that best way to do is by logging in as root with sudo su. You have to type it sudo su, then the password. After log as a root, then there will be no any issues.
Six, 886.
Vijaykant, and after that, once you enter those IP addresses, you have to apply that one also.
Yes. Space. 8, 8.8.8 for that pool DNS, no? You want
Sorry.
that 8.8.8 Google DNS?
Yeah.
No? Other 4.4.4.4. That is also same, no?
Yeah.
This for what? This one? This is okay.
Sorry.
IPv6 names are.
Yeah. This one is the IPv6 one.
Okay. Net plan apply, no?
Net plan apply.
Yeah. So what? Line so. The indent problem, no?
I think you have to keep 2 spaces, right?
Two spaces.
Yeah, 2 spaces means from the IPv4 and for IPv6. For that one also, I mean,
Okay, okay. Here one space, no. Here one space.
yeah,
Here also one space. You know?
yes. From the 10, the one should be with, yeah, that's those 2.
Now 14. Here two space, oh.
Same.
Inconsistent. What is that? One. What is there? Indentation, no?
It seems like an indent error. Yeah, did you put tabs or something? No, right?
No, only one space. One space, no? What is there?
It says like indentation. Yeah. Wait for a second. I'm also checking that one. We'll let you know. Yeah, we will check and we'll let you know.
John?
Please go through the chat section, Vidya Kanal. In there we have dropped you an for everyone we have mentioned a link. From there, if you go through that one, in the bottom of the link, you can find it. Or for the moment, you can replay. You can remove the IPv6 and you just continue.
Remove the IPv6 now.
Yeah, or else better to go with the IPv4 rather than going with IPv6.
Yeah.
If you find the solution, you can go.
DHCP6 also remove the gateway. Yeah. Remove this. you.
අන්නේ පොත් ඉදිරි කළා. අනිත් පොත් ඉදිරි කරලා ඉදිරි කළා. උණද දෙයිමු. හරිද?
Unable to locate the package.
Did you update that one? APT update? Give it a try, update it, and then after that, install those things. Yeah, from
Everything is installed once or no here. MariaDB, Nginx server, PHP, MySQL. This Composer package,
yes. It's all those things will be downloaded.
PHP, MariaDB,
Yeah, Python.
Python, Nginx. No.
Engineers also, yeah.
Nginx full man. PHP all versions, you know. Only one version. PHP.
And here it's only needed
CLI.
7.4, yeah.
Only 7.4
Oh,
and other packages.
yeah.
Education. What is this? These are there.
Hello. Open, let's open it mobile.
I think the thing is that the package is bit
Larger.
larger, so I think with the screen share and all, I guess it will take some time to download.
Oh, මේක ආවා හම්ස ලෙක්ස් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඔයාලට දුන්න හෙඩ් අනිතා මට මේ අනිත් දුන්න ඕනේ.
Now we installing. After the stop the screen share, now install.
All right, then I think you have to install the user. I mean, you have to add the user. Yeah, you can continue with the rest of the steps.
Now installing the packages.
So what I know.
So if you're going through the setup and if you're using the commands when copying or else typing it, please copy or type it bit carefully, otherwise there will be errors.
Okay.
It's almost finished, right? It's 93%.
What is this? This error?
Fetched error. Mm. I think maybe because of the network coverage or something. Otherwise, the thing is that the command is working. Yeah, even I have mentioned in the when installing PHP dependencies, there are two scripts. So in the if the first script fails, I mean there will be some errors mentioning that pip3 is not available, like that. So you have manually you can install it, or else using wget you can use the second script.
Which one? Now installing, no?
Yeah, now it's going. I think it will take some time.
Then adding user for Libra elements, no? Adding user.
Yes, you have to, then after that you have to add
Here,
user.
the bash. Here, user, right? Libra NMS. That is a username, no? Libra NMS.
The
Yeah.
username is librenms.
Yes. The command is okay, no? This one.
Yeah, it's okay.
CDOPT. What is the OPT? No set file directly. Why?
No, no. After changing OPT, then you have to run the script git clone.
Sorry?
First CDOPT means change the directory to OPT, and after that you have to.
Yes, I am now OPT, no? Here.
Yeah, and after that then there is another part. Then run the script git
This,
clone.
this,
You have
sorry.
we have skipped one line.
Yes. Clone, no? From download from Git. You have uploaded in the Git, no? Libra elements.
Yeah, it's cloning from there.
How much MB? 193, no?
Yeah, 190. I think if you you can share it once it's downloaded. I think otherwise you will it will take some time. I mean, by you also sharing the screen. Once it's downloaded, you
Yes,
can
yes. Sorry.
again once it's done, you can share a screen. In the meantime, what about others? Guys, yeah, while doing the workshop, could you please go through the chat section that I have mentioned, that I have put a link, agenda link. So in there, in the bottom of the agenda, you can see there will be available online feedback form. So could you please go through that one and also fill that form, and we are expecting the feedbacks. And also there will be another small presentation for network troubleshooting session. And if you have anything from your side to ask questions related to network troubleshooting, you can use that session for that solving problem issues. So Vijayakandan, what about the progress?
Yes, yes. Internet is disconnected. Now reconnect.
Mhm. Yeah, what about others? Anyone?
village like no, see
So right guys, so we have to, with the time frame, we have to go to the next session. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just send us through chat, or else you can call and ask anything from us. So I think for the from the agenda, I think it's about network troubleshooting. So I think there is a small presentation from Deepthi. I will hand it over to Deepthi to do the her presentation.
Thank you, Tuan. Okay, now we are gonna go to see like basics of network troubleshooting. And let me share my screen. Wait. Okay, network troubleshooting. Actually, we thought to include this little topic since we face some attacks from outside, and they are actually first. Sometimes we need some like expensive. Wait a minute. We need some expensive tools, but before that we have actually we are using Linux and like Ubuntu versions mostly, and then we have some like basic commands to see what's happening in the system. So here first let's see what's network troubleshooting. Actually, network troubleshooting is like identifying the issue and diagnose and solve the problem. And normally we get actually in current networks, many of the people don't identify the problem, like they don't monitor, and sometimes though we inform them, they don't pay much attention. So actually I am saying that please use basic commands, like we all know about like ping, ifconfig, and so many basic commands. And what we do is like we search for expensive tools for monitoring and other things. But before that, we can use our basic commands and identify. So when we are talking about network problems, we can see like cable problems. Like sometimes they are broken, and some are like not attached to ports, and those things can be happen because some guys have talked to me, and then when we are looking to the problem, when going through the problem, many have broken cables and so, and then connectivity problems, because sometimes actually like cable problems, you have to identify the connectivity problems, and sometimes configuration issues, because when configuring files, some have misconfigured, like some include more things like which are not necessary there, and likewise, and also software issues, like let's say outdated softwares and so, and also network IP issues, mostly like duplicated IPs, and sometimes misconfigured, like wrong NetMask and other gateways. And when we are seeing about like a flowchart of network troubleshooting, when we are going to start network troubleshooting, first we have to see what's the problem there, because like we have to define the problem and then gather facts. Like mostly for our institutes, we send the information like as soon as we get the information, we try to forward them and inform them. That happens from our side. And from your side also, you have to gather facts and consider possibilities, and then you have to create an action plan. And then you have to implement the plan, because sometimes there can be some small issue, but you don't like, people don't look into the problem, and they just won't like see the problem and just solve that. That's why. And when you are implementing the plan, you have to observe the results, and then check whether the symptoms are going to be stopped. Otherwise, you have to go again through the flowchart. And if you solve the problem, then you have to document that, because maybe let's say you don't document the problems, like sometimes let's say some issue in your system, then if another guy come to your place, then again maybe that guy has to face to that problem, and then again another like you have to another spend more time, and like I think you can understand what I'm saying. And so when you have done something, please document that, and it will be a very huge huge benefit for your works. And then first use iConfig. Like we have seen some guys even doesn't know what to use to see the IP. So you can use ifconfig in Ubuntu and Linux and so and ipconfig in Windows based machines. And there you can see the interfaces, and also you can see your IPs which are assigned to your machine. Using ifconfig, you can only, like, if you want to, let's say you want to see EN5 interface, then you can use ifconfig EN5. And currently I am not using my terminal because it's kind of public faced IP. I have a public faced IP interface, so I think it's better not to use here, because this video is going to be on public. So that's it. So since you have, I think you have Linux based like Ubuntu machine now, so you can type and check the commands. I think that's better, because I have typed these commands and see, so it's your time to type and see. And you can enable and disable specific interfaces. Like first, if you want to check this, first list your interfaces using ifconfig, and then copy your interface like you want to test. And then actually before that, you might have installed some packages, like if the package is not there, they will ask you. So you can use ifconfig, your interface name, and then up to enable the interface. And for disabling your interface, you can use ifconfig interface name and down. Check it with your Linux machine. it's better if you are going to use like don't SS like it's better if you are not SSH connection, not in a SSH connection, because sometimes if you are going to disable your connected interface, then your connection is going to not be there anymore. And use ping command, because sometimes we have to see whether the host is up. Normally we use the ping command to check the connectivity between two nodes. Like sometimes mostly we are using ping command to check whether the host is up. So use ping command, ping IP address, so you can use ping DNS name. Like I think you can see ping 8.8.8.8. I have used that, and google.com. Test with those commands, and then trace route. Normally we use a trace route to see sorry, so the numbers of the hops taken to reach a destination also determines packet traveling path. Normally we use that check the connections. I think mostly the network guys are using that, so try to use that often. And also dig command. We are using dig command to see the DNS related information. Normally, when we want even we use it so like so many times in a day, or sometimes we have to see the IP addresses. So IP addresses for the DNS, and sometimes likewise we have to use that. Actually some people doesn't know where to see whether when you use dig command. So mostly there are so many information there, but normally we use only answer section mostly. So here I have used dig ac.lk, and there in can you see the answer section? We can see ac.lk. That's for ac.lk there is an IP address, so it shows what's the IP address for the DNS. So use that command also. And ns lookup also, this is also used for DNS related queries. It shows the A record, like A record means answer section. So you can see what's the IP addresses there. And if you want to know more about the commands, you can use man, like MAN, and the command space command in your terminals. Then you can see the options and the description for the command, and so on and so. And also netstat. Here I only have used netstat dash space dash r. It's for routing table, but please type one netstat, then you will see there are so many options. So then you can get the ports and many information using netstat. Normally we use netstat mostly for mostly with the pipe and grep command, because grep command to see the ports. Mostly we use for the ports, and I think that's netstat command will be so much helpful for troubleshooting, because this is a like a major command in troubleshooting. And then route command, and this shows and manipulates the IP routing table. And you can if you are using a machine in your institute, just type and see, type the route command and see, then you can see the rows in your IP table in your machine. And here host command, you can see the host host and the DNS, and then you will see the IP addresses which uses that DNS. And I have typed here google.com, and you can see so many IP addresses that uses DNS google.com. So type like type some Facebook or google.com or some other names, then you can see how that works. Also, here ARP command. It's for address resolution protocol. It's used for view and add the content of the kernel ARP table. Mostly we use when we troubleshooting our machines. So this is for like type and see with first type and see what's the options for ARP command. Like once I said that man space ARP, then you can type and see in your command how that works. Then iperf command. This is for diagnosing network speed issues. Like here in this command, I have run this, executed this pfSense with /, but in Linux based systems, you don't have to use /iperf. You can install iperf and then play. First, you have to execute iperf space -s in a terminal. Then you have to get another terminal and then have to connect as a client. And here in the second command, I have used iperf -c localhost -n and the size of the packet. It's n for the number of bits. So install iperf to your machine and then change the packet sizes and then test that iperf command. And here this is the output I got from executing the command. This is after executing the client command also. This is the client command, and you can check the connections and the speed with the iperf commands. And then telnet. Mostly more than iperf commands, we use telnet. Here we have used telnet and our DNS name and the port. And also I have to say here is like mostly people connect to the machines using your ports, and when they want to do escaping, they just hit control and C. It's not a good thing. So always try to use the escape character which is mentioned here, like it's square bracket, the square bracket for escaping character. So you can check whether the port is open with telnet command. If the port is not connected, then that port is not open there. So nmap command, this is mainly used like network discovery and security audits. So this is this is a powerful tool, though people doesn't use much. If you can log into your machine and see like execute these commands. Like if you want to know about nmap, then you can use man space nmap. And here I am not going to use nmap in my terminal here, cause of that. it scans all the IPs there. So you can use nmap command in your institute machines, and you can see what's the IPs which are up actually, and the ports, and so you can scan a range of IPs from by executing this nmap command. Like nmap, the IP address, here you can see 125 to 135. Like you can give the IP range, then it will say the details of the machines, your host. And we can do port scanning. Here I have used like port 80 and the machine I want to scan. And also you can use like pin scan. Then it will send a pin and say which hosts are up. Like it will give a list of hosts which are up, and then display open ports. Like you can use nmap -- open and space, then your IP you want to see the ports which are open. Then it will show you which ports are open there. And finally the excluding host. Like I said that if you want to scan a range of IPs, you can do that. You can assign the IP range, and here you can let's say you want to scan 125.125 to 135, but you want to exclude 130. So then you can use this flag exclude and then give the IP. And here that's all for now. And if you want to know about like more about scanning tools and so you can actually message one of us, and we can help you to find those tools. And thank you. And also here in the feedback form there is a section to comment and suggestions. Please include your like ideas for coming workshops in the future. Thank you.
Tuan, you want to take up some time for troubleshooting LibreMS?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
What about the progress, guys? Those are, I think, Vijayananda. Yeah, he's the one. What about the progress? I think you finished up to.
No.
I think it's you. This one.
Network connection problem, that TSN's.
You created the DB, right?
Me? No. I couldn't download the GitHub, the Libra NMS from GitHub.
Okay, can you share your screen?
Can you see?
Yeah. In the meantime, this is how the LibreNMS dashboard looks like. So in here, I haven't added any devices. So the thing is that this IP range is something else. So just I wanted to show that for showing purpose only, I have created this one. So in here, even from the setup guide also, once you log into the LibreNMS after installing these checks, first pre-installation check, and after that configure database, and after that admin create admin. Then after that, you have to finish install, and after then later you have to validate the installation, and then you will appear login like this, and then it will be appear like this. Then you have to from here you can customize your dashboard by in here you can by editing by these widgets. You can add different graphs. The thing is that this is not validated yet, so that's why the error things are coming. So and after that, from here, these are the overview tab: devices, ports, health and alerts. So I will show with the connection. I mean, from the Geethika's connections. Yeah, in here there's a question like how to group the devices. In here, first you have to use manage groups. Then after that, you have to add device group, and you have to give the name, description. If it is a dynamic or static, like you have to give it and you have to say. Then after that, the group will be added, and after that you can add the devices. So in here, first you have to add those devices. Then in here you can give the host name or else the IP. Then after that, you have to check whether the SNMP is on or then you can add the device. So I'll give us a second. So the thing is that from the we will show you those things, how the added devices are added and how to manage those things. So those who are configured and finished up to this level can you can show us the dashboard and the devices, the connected devices. So I will stop sharing from here. Anyone who's willing to share those your screen, you can share. Okay, we will share the completed setup. So in there you can see how the devices are, the added devices, and how to add the devices. And then from I think you can have an idea about how the monitoring is working.
Okay, guys. I believe you can hear me. So I'm going to share my screen. So if your network connections are correctly working, you can add the devices. Now you can see I have added all the devices that we have used. For that one, you have to go to the dashboard. Okay, and here you can see the device tab. Here, either you can give the IP address or the host name, but I recommend you to give the IP address. So you know what are the IPs that we have used in this scenario. So we have all the IPs that we have used in our WS website. So you have to provide the IP here. The devices I have already added all the devices. So after you go through that, I think that's not a huge task, because once you go to the dashboard, you can easily get the idea what are the information that you have to provide, because you have to give the IP address of the device. These are the simple settings that you use, and even whether you set the port or not, it will take the default port. And the community string, what you have already configured in when we are configure the routers, you have to mention it here. If you look at the router configurations on the our WS file, the SNMP the informations are already given. So if I show you, when you create the here, you have given the SNMP community string. So the same community string you have to provide here. Same thing, and you can just add the device. Okay, so it is not that difficult thing. I recommend you to use the IP address, then SNMP community string here, then add the device. So you can add the devices one by one. After that, within few minutes, you can see all the devices will be added to this one. So as example, if I go through this one, this is the FAC1. I believe you can remember the IP. Okay, so this is FAC2, well, the routers which we use, and the faculty 3 router. You can't monitor the Ethernet switches because they are not manageable. And even if you configure the web server correctly, that can also be added here. And the PFSense5 also can be added. But currently I have just switch on only these 3 routers only, because if I switch on firewall and the web server and all the VMs, it will take more resources from my computer. That's why I have only used these 3 routers. So as example, if I go to FAC1, if you want to get the details, you can select on that device. So it will show you the information about that device. What are the interfaces, and graphs are there, memory usage. You can go one by one. If you want to get the graphs, you can go to the graph tab. This will take some time to populate. You have to patient for some time. And after few minutes, all these things will be populated, and you can move one tab to other tab, and you can view the what are the interfaces and whether they are working, and what are the throughput, and even to which device that is connected, and those kind of thing, even VLANs that you have created on those device. So it is
And yeah, Geetika, and also I have another thing that when you are adding devices to the this LibRain MS, and once you added that, it will take some time to load all the details. And so when in the actual scenario, it will take some time, and once you add it, it will automatically, it will and suddenly it will not work. But if the IPs and all those things are okay, then it will take some time, around 3 minutes to get all the details. Once it's done, yeah, you are good to go.
even if you want to remove a device, you can go to delete device and connect it back. And normally, so those are the things that you can view. So depending on the device, the information that you will see here may be different. So even if you want to have a idea about how these ports are working, here you can filter. Now it shows you all the devices and all the ports currently working. But if you want, you can select the IP address of the device that you want to view, and you can search only about that device only. So it will show you the ports of that device, and if you have given a description for the interfaces, and it will show you what are the interfaces and the status of those interfaces as well. So that is the overview, and if you have successfully complete all the tasks that we have guided you throughout this workshop, I believe this will be the end result. So so I hope everyone has done the configuration. So if there is something that you need to clarify, you can contact us and try to complete this one. So Mr. Herat, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Geetika. Nothing much. But I have to thanks everybody. So anyway, this 4 days workshop come to end. I believe we have got something. I know that there are people who has a lot of experience. This is not going to help that much. They know all about this. So anyway, also there are new people who can learn a lot out of this workshop. So with that, we can conclude the workshop. We hope to conduct few more workshops in this year. We normally conduct 2 to 3 workshops every year, most essential topics. If you look at the website, you can see all the past workshops. So what we have planned, what you have in mind is to have basic network system related workshops during this year. Starting with this, we had a network monitoring one last year. Also, now we complete this campus network design part. Also, we have to we can go for network measurement like things. So yeah, you can measure the performance of the network. You can measure the delays and it is all that. Also, you can have some probes in your network so that you can use those probes and measurement servers to troubleshoot any network performance related issue. So that is one of the topic we have in mind. The another one is network management workshop, not the network monitor, network management, where you can learn about how you can manage the network, how you can document network related information, cable layout and port configuration, support, how you have connected device one to each other and all those things, and also how you can have system to easily access devices and all those things. So also you can have a system to continuously monitor your network performance, like latency, jitter, and also. So we can go for such a topic as well. So let's see how we can get arrange things for that type of topic. At the same time, we have asked in the survey form for you to give us your need of topics that the learn has to cover. So we have to look at that one as well. So with that, let me thanks all of you attending all the way through all the 8 session throughout the entire workshop. Let me thanks the technical team who prepare these workshops and spend a lot of time to prepare the content, and especially Geetika for preparing the lab works. He spent almost a couple of months actually to set up this content and test those all the content and make sure that everything works properly, so that you won't get in problem during the lab sessions. So at the same time, let me thanks to the Learn Management for giving facilitating this workshop, allowing us to provide this training, and also the other staff members of the Learn providing us site support. So with that, wish you all the this good day and all the best for the future works. Thank you so much for joining the workshop. So let's stop this program. Thank you, everybody.